Hello everyone and happy Friday. I am very excited to be back with you. Today's episode is a big one, a doozy, something I have been gearing up for a long time because the soapbox that I have to stand on when it comes to my hatred of Colleen Hoover, or just I guess general distaste if we want to be a little less dramatic, it's miles high. I don't ever want to come down, but because I know that in Utah County, I actually have to fear for my safety when saying that I don't like that woman, I brought on someone that does like her, just so we can have both sides of the story, so all of you lovers out there will actually listen to this episode. Don't you worry, okay? It's not just going to be a complete Colleen hate fest as much as I would personally love that. I get that so many of you love her, and you know what? If I'm going to be as opinionated as I am, I need to respect the opinions of others. So this is my episode of trying to do that, okay? I have my friend Kiera on today. I am very excited for you all to meet her, to hear from her. She is one of the funniest and most sarcastic people I've ever met in my life, and I am just utterly delighted to share her with all of you. Now, there is one more thing that I need to address before we get today's episode started. I need to follow up with all of you about the deodorant that I've been using. If this is your first episode that you've ever listened to, you know what? Skip this part because there is a huge backstory to all of this. I'm a sweaty girl. There's an embarrassing story to go along with it to just prove how long this has been a problem for me. Highly recommend some of my previous episodes. Shameless plug. But for those of you that know, that are avid listeners, my deodorant journey, we've all been on it together, and I want you to know we have found a destination, the promised land, if you will, of Carpe deodorant, C-A-R-P-E. I am working on trying to get a code that will give you guys a discount. Trust me, the emails have been sent. I can't tell you how much this deodorant has quite literally changed my life. I cried about it the other day. I did. I shed real tears because for the first time in my life, I am wearing color. I went out and I spent that tax refund check. Shout out to the government. I spent every single penny on new clothes. I went to Ross. I went to Uptown Cheapskate. Honestly, God blessed me because we all know those stores are hit or miss. It was nothing but hits. Everything was on target, okay? I think God knew that I have waited 26 years for this moment. He really provided. I today wore right up in my armpit pink shirt, pink, and I was just fine. I'm out here wearing yellow, green. I got tons of new stuff and I'm looking to acquire more. Honestly, I need a stylist. That's like my next big step in life. I really would like to create a wardrobe that's full of items that I love, that are ridiculously comfortable, but also look somewhat fashionable. So, you know, if you are a personal stylist and charge next to nothing, why don't you give me a ring? All of this to say, don't walk, freaking run to get Carpe deodorant. I have tried their face lotion and it has worked pretty well. Interesting texture, and it is different than the one for the underarms. I'm interested in trying the scalp one as well, but I will say it really does help. The face one, it's not completely stopping sweat, but the underarm deodorant, it is. It's not that I'm stopping sweating, like I can feel myself still sweating, but it's literally soaking it up. I don't know how it works. I don't really care, to be honest, but I've been using it for months and not a rash in sight. For anyone that doesn't believe God provides miracles today, I'd love to have you come over and I will lift up my arms and I will preach to you how untrue that is. I will show you the miracle for yourself. If only you guys knew the path of hell that I have been walking for so many years to get here. The amount of dermatology appointments, the prescription creams, general misery that I have had, it has all been cured. I literally can't even express to you the joy that I feel. We're gonna have a lesson in church on Sunday about joy, and I might just stand up and need to take the mic because I have some joy to express. It is all coming from Carpe deodorant. It is. I know this sounds like an exaggeration, but like truly, I'm not being paid. I'm not sponsored. Heaven knows I'm an anti-influencer, so I would never freaking lie to anybody because I'm so against that. This stuff is worth all $40 that you have to pay for that tube. I do pay so much money for it, but to me, it is worth it. If you got the problems that I have and $40 is gonna solve it, oh my gosh, take my credit card. Take it. I will work an extra job if needed just to afford this deodorant because it's changed my life. So there is the follow-up that I should have given you a long time ago, but I really wanted to make sure that this worked for a prolonged period of time. I'm fully converted. If I do ever start that cult one day, the Delulus will be using Carpe. It will be one of the commandments, and I will stand by that forever, or at least up until the day that it stops working for me. And if that day does come, you will all be the first to know. There might be darkness involved and a lot of crying from me, but for now, nothing but clear skies and smiles coming from this girl right here. And with that, let's get into today's episode.
Are we kidding? Oh my gosh, I love that.
Hello, Kiera. How are you?
I am so good.
Would you like to start us off with the story of how we know each other, how we met?
Okay, see, I get a little nervy when you want to talk about how we met because I think you and I met in different stories because you will talk about something and I'll be like, dude, I don't remember that. I don't remember that one bit. Our friendship is so deep and so great that I feel like I can be honest about this. What I remember, homegirl, you walked into the workplace that I had taken charge of. I had changed the way people were viewing this establishment. You walk in and immediately get taken back to an office with the owner. And I thought, oh, who's she? Who's that? Not one of us. She absolutely should have checked in with me. I don't even remember who it was, but someone was like, oh, that's Nikki. She used to work here. And I was like, well, she doesn't anymore. What's she doing in the office? Like, apologies. She's out of line. Then you come walking out.
It's like that TikTok sound where it's like, who are you? I'm the owner of this house.
Yes. Who are you walking into my establishment where I am getting paid $8.30 an hour thinking you can come in? Absolutely not. There's the door. Don't let it hit you on the way out.
That must have also been really weird too, dynamics wise, because I come in, I'm younger than everybody there. Yeah, I was like bumped to the top.
Yes, immediately. Someone had the audacity then to tell me that you were being paid like $4 more than me. And I was like, I am so confused. I am married. I have a child and I could make more working a lemonade stand on the side of the road. And yet here I am.
First off, so sorry.
No, please no. I am sorry. It just irks me to talk about how we met because I was like, I was so rude. I was so rude. But then we started talking. I started like showing you the ropes or whatever. And I was like, oh, no, this girl, she's a lot of fun. It took me a minute to be like, no, we like Nikki. Nikki's all right.
I think it takes a lot of people a minute, but after that minute, they make a firm decision. I like this girl. We vibe. She's cool. She's funny. She is super oblivious. Or it's like, I hate this girl with all my heart.
Shut up. I don't think there's one person on this planet that feels that way.
You know someone that hates me.
And she's wrong. No, ridiculous. You frequently will talk about how we met and became friends. And I'm always like, I don't want to share my side because it's so rude and it just is so unhinged. I know I'm dramatic.
No, listen, I love it because it shows that someone can go from not liking me to liking me. So really, it's just a success story for me.
Yes. Give her a chance.
Yeah, exactly. That should be on merch. Give her a chance.
I found your new dating profile slogan. Give me a chance.
You've never met someone like me.
No, like you are hands down the most wild adventure I've ever been on. I feel like most people say that about their spouse. No, I'm saying that about Nikki. Okay. It's a new thing every day. I feel so honored to be a part of it and just be along for the ride.
I'm so grateful for you. I love you so much. That's so funny that you remember it like that because I just remember us working together. I mean, I'm always living in my own little world and I thought you were cool. I thought you were fun. This is really funny to me. I don't remember what show I was watching at the time, but I told you about a show and I was about to leave to go work in China. I wanted to keep in contact specifically to know what you thought about some show. Don't remember what it was. We started Marco Poloing. If you guys aren't familiar with that app, I will die for that app. It was kind of an interesting combo because, again, you're married with a kid. I was like world traveling and we just started Marco Poloing every single day when I was in China.
Every day.
We just became these really close friends.
Yeah. And I'm not even kidding. You have been single-handedly one of the most consistent friends I've ever had. I believe you when you say that you would die for Marco Polo because you literally were emailing Marco Polo's support system when my Marco Polo was down.
Yeah. I have a working relationship with Marco Polo. Yeah, they know my name.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am their biggest fan. I'm their biggest supporter.
Biggest critic.
Absolutely.
Fix this immediately.
I'm going to tell them if something's wrong. We have that kind of relationship, you know?
Yes, someone's got to. We're so grateful you are taking that position just head on. We salute you.
Just so everybody knows, Kiera and I have the type of relationship where we share with each other shows we've been watching, movies, books. That's going to be our main topic today is books. We're going to get into it, so we're not going to talk about it right now. And then music. Those are our categories. We share back and forth, and we will watch what each other has suggested.
Yes. But the thing about me is if you have a negative reaction to something I share, don't tell me.
That's true.
I don't want to hear it. Block me on Goodreads, take me off Spotify, remove me from your Netflix account. I don't care. I don't want to know that you didn't like it. Okay.
Most of the time, I think because you know that about yourself and you also know how harsh of a critic I am, what's the vetting process before you'll send me something?
A lot of sweat and tears and 3 Xanax pills. I'm just kidding. Honestly, though, it's a lot of anxiety. That's it. That's my whole vetting process is thinking about it for a week straight. I really want to share this with Nikki because I love it so much with my whole heart and soul. Bury me with this book. And then I share it and immediately book, movie, song, whatever, I share it. And the second I send it, I want to retract it. I want to take it away and bury it deep inside because I am so panicked because what's Post Malone going to do if you don't like his song? Nothing. But what am I going to do if you don't like Post Malone's song? I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to be devastated. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. Okay. So that's the vetting process, Nikki. Thank you for asking.
I feel like I have become this horribly toxic person that my friends feel like they can't share things with me. And I'm like, no, guys, like share. I'm happy to be here to like what you like. Or if I don't like it, you know, I'm glad that you like it. But at the same time, you know, I get it. I have created this monster.
Well, you really are so kind about it. For example, I'll send you a song and you'll just thumbs up it. And I'm like, that is the most hurtful thing that's ever happened to me. I don't even know what that means. And then I just go about my day and think, well, I'm never sharing a song again. I don't know. Your opinion matters so much to me. I don't know.
I feel so bad. If I share something with somebody else and they come back and they say, Nikki, that was literal trash, like garbage I just took out. I have no real feelings about that. I'm able to just be like, oh, okay, cool, you didn't like it because I didn't make it. I have no personal stake in that.
Yeah, but Sam, I don't have a personal stake in it. Okay. So your argument is invalid. I am the psycho one. Okay.
But I feel bad because I forget that when other people share things with me and I say, yeah, I didn't like it, that actually hurts their feelings.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, that's my bad. I should work on that. I'm sorry.
I'm going to go talk to Posty about that because that was hurtful. Anyway, okay, so movies I've watched. I've prepared myself for criticism.
You're emotionally ready and okay if I bash on whatever you're going to say?
Only the movies. But when we get to music and books, absolutely not.
Perfect. I did tell you I was coming with a gun.
Yeah, no, I know. And I've got my AK-47, I've got the bazooka, I know, but I'm not going to take it well. So I'm just warning you. Movies I've watched, Roadhouse, the new one. It's rated R, if anyone wants to know. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal in it. It's got Conor McGregor. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I hate Conor McGregor. In my home, we watch the UFC fights every Saturday like it's our religion. So Conor McGregor is a big UFC fighter. and I hate him. With everything I have, I hate him. The way he acts, just the human that he is, he's just not a good human. He's not an actor, but they picked him up for this movie and he played one of the main burly bullies, and I hated him in the movie, but I realized also that he played the part perfectly. Like, he didn't even have to act. He just showed up with who he is. Jake Gyllenhaal is an absolute chef's kiss in anything he's been in my opinion. He did a fantastic job in Roadhouse. So if you want something with punching, high action, cool accents, I would recommend it.
Cool accents meaning not Scottish, because you refuse to do Scottish accents.
You know what? Okay. Didn't know we were going to go there. You're right. I hate Bridgerton. Okay. You know what else is Conor McGregor is from Ireland. And so I think that has to do with me not liking him as well.
I love that fact about you, because a lot of American women are like, oh my gosh, the Irish, English, Scottish accent really does it for them. And I love that you draw a hard line and go, absolutely not. I refuse.
Yeah, I'm not doing a Scottish or Irish accent. I'm not doing it. Anything, I mean, throw a Scottish accent on Jake Gyllenhaal, I'm going to hate it. He could even be shirtless and I would still hate it. Not about it.
Continuing on with your movies.
Super late to the game on this one, but Barbie with Margot Robbie.
I loved Barbie. Did you like it?
Yes and no. It was funny. I think that Ken made the movie. I would probably rate it like a 6 out of 10.
That's pretty decent. I'd give it like a 7.
Yeah, not great. It was available to rent for 99 cents. So I thought, what do I have to lose? Which brings me to another point. Damsel. I gave some really solid commentary throughout the entire movie. For the commentary that it brought out of me alone, I would probably give it a 7. The acting probably got a 4. The storyline, maybe a 5.
Now I'm sad I missed the commentary.
Everyone should be. It was good commentary. Okay, my guilty pleasure for TV shows is RuPaul's Drag Race.
You know, I've never seen it.
I don't know what it is about it, but it genuinely makes me feel better about my life. I don't know. And then these challenges that RuPaul has them do. Like, I watched an episode the other night and they had one of their runway looks was like one of Lady Gaga's looks. And these fools had to create from scraps of fabric that they found in dumpsters. And it's just like, I don't know if you could pay me enough to do that. Like, you couldn't pay me enough to do that, let alone me trying out for your show. You know?
What is the premise of the show?
The winner gets $100,000 worth of Anastasia makeup.
That's it?
There might be some cash involved too, but I don't know. Another one is jury duty.
I just talked about that in my single episode. I said everyone needs to go watch Jury Duty.
Yes.
Okay, this is a question for you. Do you think I could end up with someone like Ronald?
Absolutely.
Ronald is the type of person I want to end up with, but I don't know if I can actually, land that.
I think you could, Nikki. I think you're underestimating yourself. I think you could freaking hook, line, and sinker someone like him. He would not know what's hit him.
And that's what kind of scares me is I'm like, oh no, would I just pummel him to the ground with my personality and then he wouldn't be able to get up?
It might take him a few years, but he'd get there. So like, let's just role play this for a minute. You land Ronald. Okay. Ronald's like the real Ronald. All right. You land him. You guys get married. And a few years into the marriage, he goes, I swear this was just like the movie Jury Duty. He's like, I'm reliving Jury Duty because he doesn't understand what he got himself into.
So you're saying that he would feel like everyone was pulling a prank on him if he was married to me?
No, no. Crap. No, he freaking loved it. He thrived in that environment. He found his voice. He figured out who he was. All right. He just wouldn't understand what was happening until it happened.
Until it was revealed, like, no, this is actually who I am.
Yeah, like, no, we're married for eternity, Ronald. 3 years in, no, that was real. You know what's unfortunate, though, is that our society will never be able to pull that off again.
Never.
Which is unfortunate because it was good.
I completely agree. And also the fact that they had a character on there that was fashioned after someone from our religion, even though it was not accurate, but it was so coded when he brought up soaking.
I can't.
I got out of bed because I was watching it on my phone and I could not.
Okay, this one, I honestly don't know how this is a thing. Okay. Who allowed it? Straight to jail. The Santa Clara diet with Drew Barrymore.
I don't know this. Do explain.
Nikki, I honestly don't even know what I've watched. Okay. Dude, I don't even know how to explain it.
Oh,
It sounds insane. Look it up on Netflix and read us the synopsis.
Okay. It just says Sheila and Joel are married real estate agents who live and work in Santa Clarita, California. When Sheila dies, their lives take a dark turn. What was your rating for this?
Oh, a negative 40 out of 10.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Absolutely not. I watched the first 2 episodes.
It got a 7.8 on IMDb.
Okay, literally within the first episode, and I would never recommend it to you because I know that you have
Issues.
when they say in the synopsis that she dies, you would think, oh, okay, she dies in like a normal way. No, she literally is showing a home to a potential buyer, and she sits there and throws up all of her organs and her heart. And she sits on the bathroom floor just holding her heart. And then before you know it, she is really hungry for raw meat. Yeah, I don't know what that turns into. I don't know if they start killing people, if her husband continues to go to the store for hamburger meat. I don't know. I would not recommend. And I don't know if any of your listeners have watched it. I need to understand why.
I would never in a million years watch that. Hearing that description was too much. That was too much.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's okay. What else you got?
The last one I have for you is American Horror Story.
I will never watch that, but continue.
I would never recommend it to you. It took me a while to watch it because it was very popular when I was in high school. It always was a little spooky, a little scary. And then I started it and I watched all of it in probably a week. And am I proud of that? No, but it happened. So American Horror Story is like the main one. It has different seasons, but then there's like work-offs of American Horror Story and they're still spooky. And that's like the one with Kim Kardashian and whoever else. But there was only one spinoff that I could not continue. I don't even know which one it was called. I'll have to look it up. The main character had red, like really curly hair, and she kept seeing dead people, which like isn't too far for me. It was fine until certain other things happened and I just couldn't do it. I can handle dark. That was pitch black.
I remember you once telling me that I should listen to Crime Junkies podcast.
Yes.
I think I got about 20 minutes into one singular episode before I was like, Kiera, I am very sorry, but this is not the genre for me.
And then I'm offended.
Yeah. And I'm over here like, I just like don't want nightmares.
And I'm like, great, you hate me. You hate everything I've ever given you. Crime Junkies is life.
I love that you love that.
Thank you. See, you do it so kind. And it almost makes me not want to take offense.
Almost.
Almost.
Okay, we have watched together some TV shows.
Yes.
The first one being Good Girls. Have you finished Good Girls?
No.
Me neither.
It got a little long. It wanted to be Grey's Anatomy for a minute.
Here's what I will say about Good Girls. I started it, season 1, season 2, bangers, absolute bangers. I told you about the show, and I said, Kiera, the main villain guy, the mob boss,
Rio.
there is something about him that is so hot. Like just the way that he says Elizabeth. But you came back at me and you were like, Nikki, you are deeply disturbed. If you think Rio is attractive, you went off on me being like, absolutely not. No, never in a million years. Because that was a couple episodes in. You were like, what are you thinking? And then you came back to me and you were like,
so sorry. I was the one that was deeply disturbed for not thinking he is attractive.
There is just something about the way that he licks his lips.
Oh.
That neck tattoo?
Oh, you know what? There was a villain in one of my books named Rio. Rio from Good Girls was all I saw. He's all I care about. He's it.
It is such a good show. I thought the writers did a really great job of going where you wouldn't expect. You think it's
Yeah.
going to go one way. You think they've painted themselves into a corner and it's just going to end this way. And they throw these plot twists in there that are so well written. Yeah, they did get a little long, so I haven't finished it, but I do feel like it is worth watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you only get to season 3.
Yes, I completely agree. In the Dark,
Oh,
that was another one that we watched together.
have you finished that one?
Nope.
Nope.
Have you?
Nope.
But the first 2 seasons were really great.
Heck yeah. We are great advocates for 1 or 2 seasons. I'll tell you what.
Or just give it to me all at once. That's my biggest issue.
Yes.
Because we're both bingers.
Yes.
So how dare you make me wait a year in between each season? I'm going to drop off.
I'm a forget. I forgot.
Yeah, I have no loyalty.
Yeah.
0 ties. I'll probably talk about that show at another time. It's really good.
Yeah.
I should rewatch it. But you did me dirty by not having it all ready to go, prepped for me.
And that's on you, producer.
I don't understand it. I don't get the strategy and it's pissing me off.
It's not okay.
You want to know what is okay though? The Wilds.
Freaking heck. Where is season 3? I am unwell. They're still stuck on that island. I would have watched season 3. I know I haven't watched season 3 of a lot of others, but I would have watched season 3 of The Wilds.
You were the one that first introduced that show to me. And then
Yeah.
I converted like a small city of people enough that we could be on a map. If I got everyone together, it was so good.
You have done the legwork and you need to be rewarded for that. You have single-handedly made them more money. I mean, again, that's who you need to have as a guest on your podcast are these producers, because what are they thinking?
Honestly, that is probably one of the biggest heartbreaks of my life.
I have to agree.
The Wilds not having a season 3.
And you know what is so crazy, thinking back to the TV show, is the acting was subpar.
Sure.
Right? And I don't know how, but I washed up on that island with them. I was there. I'm just flabbergasted.
I feel the same way. There is something in that show. It was injected because acting wise, I'm with you. It is not the most incredible acting. It's not the most incredible filming.
No.
Storyline wise, I mean, it's Lord of the Flies, but
Yes.
there is just something about it that I love.
Were the characters just so incredibly relatable?
Maybe.
We all know someone in real life who is like that person. I don't know, but they really did us dirty. What now? How do we move on?
That must have been just such a big moment in your life that you did share a show with me that instantly landed in my top 5.
See, and I think maybe that's where my anxiety comes from. It would be helpful to have a therapist come in and moderate this, because I shared something with you that just chef's kiss hit home, was everything you ever needed in life. And then I'm like, I can do this. I can recommend things to other people. And then I tried again and I've seen it. Oh, yeah, of course, Nikki. I'm so sorry. I'm going to go. I'll see myself out. And I'm thinking about it as I'm talking out loud. I really think this is where my anxiety stems from. Okay. I really hit it out of the park. I did you an absolute solid. And only one other time do I feel like I have lived up to that.
I feel like I had no idea you had so much suppressed anxiety about recommending things to me.
You just mean so much to me, and I never want to disappoint you. I just want to share all the goodness that I find with you. And sometimes you don't find it as great. And that's really, really heartbreaking for me. But it is what it is. I think it's a learning lesson, and I think I'm growing as a human being because of it. You are teaching me lifelong lessons that I need to know.
I will say, when you do share something that I have never heard of and that I love being able to tell you
Yes.
that I haven't heard it.
Because you know what it means. You know what it means to me. You know that on the other side of my rectangle, I am doing a backflip. My head is so big, I'm not getting out of the door.
I think that is the hard part about recommending something to someone like me who watches and consumes so much. The chances of me seeing it or knowing it are pretty high.
Yeah.
But I'm also such a harsh critic.
Yes. But you know what? It's taught me that I love it all. It's got words. It's great to me. It has over 200 pages and no pictures. 5 stars. Who needs a good book? I've got one for you.
I think this is a really good segue into books because you just admitted that any book is a good book to you, and we're about to get into it. I was just looking up my points that I'm about to make.
No, girl, I have pages. All right. I literally thought about printing them because I was like, I need a highlighter.
First off, I take credit for you being a reader. And in a way, I'm so proud that you have the opposite opinions to me because without me, you wouldn't have them.
Right.
Why don't you share with everybody your reading journey or conversion, if you will, and the missionary work that I did?
It truly was missionary work, Nikki Kelly. Thank you for bringing this up. I am a better person because of this. Let me let you in on something. Team, family, whatever we are as a podcast. I graduated high school at a 3rd grade reading level. Is that true? No. Do I feel like it's true? Yes. I hated reading. I would rather eat 4 truck tires than read a book. Okay. Any day of the week. I did not like reading. 2022, rough year. I don't think anyone had a great 2022. End of 2022 comes around and I say, you know what, Kiera, you have never completed a New Year's resolution goal. And 2023 is the year. Never have I ever completed one. I don't even think I've ever made goals come January 1st. So I thought, this is it. 2023 is the year. I'm going to set a goal to read 6 books. 6. All right. Give myself 2 months for every freaking book. I was like, I can do it. I can do it. January 31st comes. I've read 25 books.
I couldn't believe it. It was such a big moment for me personally.
Get the tissue.
Because I just felt like I had been an influence.
Yes. Single-handedly. I could not bear to tell my mother because it's not like she's been trying for the last 27 years. But no, the friend that has been with me for the last 5, she did it. She did it. Does my mom get credit behind the scenes? You did it, Mom.
But here's where everything went wrong. Here I am, so proud of you. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so many recommendations. But lo and behold, Colleen frickin' Hoover swoops in first. And it was in that moment that I knew we were doomed. Because if Colleen Hoover is your introduction to reading, listen to me loud and clear right now. That is not literature. That is a false start to reading. And I know that you have points that you're going to make because I wanted you on for this episode where I talk nothing but trash on Colleen. And I wanted someone that loves her to really counteract my arguments. Truly, in my deepest opinion, if you start off with Colleen Hoover, you think you know literature, you think you know good books, you don't. It is wolf in sheep's clothing. No. When you told me, I was initially proud about the book thing, and then you told me what you were reading, and instantly I was like, oh my gosh, we're doomed.
Okay, pause, because you were the first one to recommend a book to me, okay? I went out and I freaking purchased with my hard-earned money, what even was it? It was an Emily Henry.
Beach read?
Yeah, and I got freaking 3 chapters in and I was like, what is even I don't even know what's happening. So forgive me if I needed someone to dumb it down a bit, okay? Is Colleen Hoover the best writer on the planet? No. Was she able to speak to me as a amateur? Absolutely.
You know, looking back, I do regret my recommendation for you. I do.
You should.
I wish I could take it back.
Yeah.
I would have gone with something different. I would have gone with a murder mystery or something like that. That was on me. That's my bad.
Yes.
But I just feel bad that it gave you to the clutches of Colleen.
Okay, tell me why I have single-handedly read all but 3 of her books. Okay, and I've eaten them up, except one. There's one that I have hated. I mean, so much, you couldn't pay me to recommend it to anybody.
Which one?
Someday. I have nothing against deaf people, but the way she wrote this fool was unacceptable. It was a true travesty. I think it took me a whole month to just get through it. It just gives me the heebie-jeebies, that book.
I think we need to back up slightly for our non-readers.
Okay.
Here's something you've got to know. When you enter the modern age that is currently going on right now of book reading, especially if you have social media, TikTok specifically, then you will be thrust into what is lovingly known as book talk, right?
Mhm.
Which is all of these book influencer people who read a ton. They will shove down your throat a certain author named Colleen Hoover.
Swallow it like a champ. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm talking as a reformed Colleen Hoover lover. She was my first introduction to smut books. I thought it was the greatest thing I'd ever read in my life. When I read Hopeless at age 18, that was life-changing for me. I didn't know books could be like that.
Uh-huh.
Which I think is why she's so popular amongst Christian women specifically.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Colleen, she has written, I don't know, a freaking million books. Okay, maybe
At
it's like
least.
10 or something. Maybe 15. She's written a lot of books. She's been around the block. But recently, as in the last 4 years, her books have gotten so much press. They have just exploded and have popped to the top of the charts on the must-read lists of every woman everywhere. Her books are in a category called smut. SMUT. Now, Kiera, can you break down, just a basic smut scale for people who have no idea what we're talking about?
Is this appropriate for the pod?
This episode will be marked as explicit because of this, but I think it's important for people to know.
Okay, you've got like kissing and cuddling, bare minimum, level 1. If level 1, maybe that's a level 0. Then you've got like the steamy makeout sessions. Then you've got the sexual tension that it's like my boyfriend's out at sea for 9 months out of the year and I only see him for 3 months. Can't wait for those 3 months. But then you never read about the 3 months. You don't get to the point where they're finally reunited. Like it's just the tension and then it ends.
Oh, the angst.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I think you have fade to black. You're like, oh, we're making out. He took off my shirt. And then it's like 3 days later. And you're like, what just happened? I have whiplash. That's fade to black. And then you get to the deets, the down and dirty deets. You know that TikTok sound that's like, her arms were cut off. Her legs were cut off. It's like, her shirt was taken off, her bra was taken off, and they start using like really crass language that it's like, if a real man in real life talked to me that way, I would slap him upside the face. But in this book, I'm gonna eat it up. Okay, so then you have like the dirty deets. And then level 10 is that with a dark twist. For example, Hunting and Haunting Adeline. That's dark, smut, nasty. Okay. You've also got Butcher and Blackbird. Bury me with that book, by the way. Does that sum it up enough?
I think that was perfect. The only thing that I would add is there is an in-between when you hit the dirty deets, right? You have just like the normal dirty deets. There is a difference in description. Once you get into dirty deets, that's going to be level 4 because remember, this scale builds. So I would say dirty deets begins with, like her bra's taken off, maybe a description about what's going on, but it's like a PG-13 on the cusp of a rated R. Then I would say a level 5 is now it's like way more crass, way more descriptive, way more aggressive, and it's happening a lot more frequently as well.
And I think you're getting into like the feelings rather than just like descriptive words on what they're doing. You're getting into like their heads more.
Oh, yes, I would say that. To me, that's a level 5 verging on level 6, depending on how descriptive and how frequent it's happening and what they're doing. Because obviously you can write a scene that's like super detailed, but it's going to be different if they're just like doing it in a car versus, them doing it in a public place. Like those thoughts that they're having that you're reading about are going to be different. So that's going to be a 5 to 6. Okay. Then you enter the world of fantasy. Fantasy smut, which I am not a part of. I will never be. You start not only hearing about, the deets of them, but also the deets of like their wingspan.
No,
This is like fairy porn. Okay.
no,
But you know that this is a genre.
it is. And it is so disturbing, but to each their own.
But this is such a big thing. That's why I feel like these normal smuts are lower scale, like 5, 6, because the moment you enter the fairy porn, that is so descriptive, but also you're crossing a line into a new realm, literally. A lot of women are really into that. I just don't like fantasy in general, so I'm absolutely not going to be reading fantasy smut. That's going to be like a 7, 8, 9. Then you have just straight up porn.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 10. I have not read 50 Shades of Grey, but if this is the scale we're going off of, 50 Shades, in my opinion, based on what I know about this world, it's probably going to land at like a 7 because you can go so much more.
I was going to say, I read a lot more smut than you do. It is just perfection to me. And I would agree with you.
And here's the thing. I have dabbled in the 7, 8s. And I'm instantly out. It is not my vibe. 4 is my sweet spot.
Okay.
That is exactly where I like it. I call it classy smut. It's just super flirtatious. That's what I like. In my opinion, Colleen hovers in a 5 to 6 range. So already, I don't really love how she describes things in her books. It's a little too crass for me personally. But that is not my only holdup with her. If it was, I feel like I wouldn't have so much to say because that's all opinion based and that's also all personal preference on how much you're okay with reading.
Yeah.
So I am good with a 4.
Okay. So then question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I would put Ugly Love a little higher than a 4, maybe even a little higher than a 5.
I would put it at a 6.
Okay. I am on the same page.
Which is why I hated Ugly Love. But you want to know why? Should we just get into it now?
Yes.
Okay, so Colleen Hoover has this book named Ugly Love. So I read it. It was already getting on the verge of something I don't really love as far as description goes of the sex scenes. It was just a little past my own personal boundaries.
Yeah.
But what I hate about Colleen Hoover is she takes these very traumatic storylines, so traumatic, and she will write an entire story based off of this very traumatic event that has happened to her main character, Guy, which automatically gives him an excuse to be a total douchebag the entire book. And Ugly Love is the perfect example of that. He is the worst human. He has 0 personality. He is so rude. And then he just uses the girl main character. It's not even friends with benefits because they're not friends. And she thinks that she can change him, that she can somehow be his therapist. And he runs over her every single time. And he's like, no, I'm unfixable, blah, blah, blah. Then you find out his terrible, horrible, tragic backstory that is the excuse to his entire bad behavior. And all these women go, oh my gosh, that's so heartbreaking and sad. It's okay that he treated her like actual crap the whole time, never went to therapy, never addressed his problems. You know what? It's totally fine and they like each other in the end. What the hell?
Yeah. Okay, you're right. You have a valid argument.
But
I feel I should have been a little bit more prepared for the points you're going to bring. I think she is able to write and dive into the human emotion very well from both sides because a lot of her books are dual point of view. And I think that she is able to tap into their emotions very well. And I think that her character development is also very well, with the exception that no one can act like a douchebag for their entire life and just get away with it. I get that. 100%. I agree with that. She writes in a way that is so incredibly raw and real that I think that people are able to connect with her characters in such a different way than other writers. All of her books are tragic. I have not read a single happy-go-lucky, run-of-the-mill, good time book. She doesn't know how to do that. I spent a lot of time focusing on why I like Colleen Hoover as if I'm trying to convince myself, because here you are trying to convince me not to like her.
No, it's not that I'm trying to convince you not to like her. It's if no one has ever picked up one of her books, I'm trying to make sure that they never do. But everyone who has picked up one of her books, I already know you're a lost cause. She got you.
So then what is your argument? I am so confused.
Listen, I'm not here for those that love Colleen because I don't think that I can truly change anyone's mind. But for those that have never read her and that hear all day in and out that she's amazing, I am here to say that's not true. Don't listen to the lies.
Follow Nike, just do it.
No.
Okay. Yes. If she is being forced down your throat, swallow like a champ. I don't know what to tell you. You know what? You contradicting, okay? Because here you are. You're like, Kiera, try reading. I'm like, oh, okay. I try it. I get hooked on Colleen Hoover like she's cocaine, and then you're just bashing me because of it. I'm confused. You're sending mixed signals.
Here's the reason why. I'm so sorry that I am bashing it. I'm bashing it because you're on cocaine. That's what I'm saying.
Sorry.
I saw that you were going for a drug that was going to be super addictive, but not good for you. And you took it anyways. Sometimes I'm just over here like, listen, I know you're never going to get off of it. I know that there's nothing I will say that will make you stop taking it. But Kiera, it's not good for you.
Okay, listen, I need you to tell that to Seth because Seth thinks it's just fine. He'll go out and buy me a Colleen Hoover book. All right. It is good for you. Okay. As a married woman with 3 kids and a husband who works a demanding job, you know what? She spices things up.
I get that. I get why she's cocaine. But if we're talking good writing, that's my point that I'm trying to make. Is it easily digestible? Is it super addictive? Is it all those things? Absolutely it is. But I'm not saying that those equal good writing.
Right. So she is absolutely cocaine, which is also a gateway drug. She is my gateway drug. Okay. She is the reason I have found out more about myself in the last year than I ever thought possible. See, but now the narrative is flipping because do I agree with you that she's not a good writer? Absolutely. If she comes out with a new series tomorrow, am I going to read it? Absolutely.
I think we just said it all right there. I am judging her according to writing ability. From an analytical perspective, I hate that her characters treat each other like crap, especially the men. They are very misogynistic. They're very controlling. They treat the women that they are in love with like objects. And then the women just roll over and totally accept that and are completely fine with it. Or they're not fine with it, but they decide, you know, but he's been through something so hard, so I'm going to keep all my feelings to myself. And then she coats it all in tragedy and sexual assault, sexual abuse, death, really hard topics, which are very emotionally manipulative, which is why they're so addictive, is because you get so invested in it all. But when I take a step back and I look at it, I'm like, no, this is teaching very toxic behavior and it's unacceptable because I can't see past that. But when I'm looking at it as entertaining, as far as is it teaching you new things? Is it hot and steamy and sexy? Yes, it's all those things. But for me, that's never going to be enough for me to see past your manipulation. At the end of the day, she is a drug. She is absolutely a drug, and she is a gateway drug, and that is why so many women love her. And I know that's why they love her, is because she opens up this new world for them that they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know books could be like this. And then they start really liking it, and they start really liking those types of books, and then they go up the smut scale, which is totally fine if that's what you want to do. But I am making the argument that if you want good literature, you're not going to find it there.
I agree. Hands down. I agree. Also, though, you are so smart, okay? And I just need that to be known because, of course, you're looking at it from an analytical side, and I'm looking at it from a, no, I need to take a step back from my 3 kids, and I need to go into a different world, and I don't care where you freaking take me. Put me in a headlock and take me. You know, it just comes down to smarts. You've got the smarts. And now that you're pointing out from like an analytical, good writing perspective, I agree. Full-heartedly, I agree with you. Once again, if she came out with another book tomorrow, would I read it? Yes, I would.
I have personally read like 6 of her books. I'm not coming at this from someone who, read Ugly Love and hated it. I have given her chance after chance after chance. Sometimes I really do wish that I could look at it as just purely entertaining, as just purely hot and sexy, but I can't.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me the problem. Hi, it's me.
Yes.
I'm the problem. I am the annoying person that comes in and says like, sorry to rain on everybody's parade, but this actually isn't good. No one wants to hear it.
Yeah.
But this is my podcast, so I do need it voice.
You're the, hey, Mrs. Taylor, do you want us to turn in our homework now or tomorrow? Like, go you.
Honestly, I wish I wasn't this way because it makes me, I'm so not cool. Don't be deceived. I'm not cool. I'm so freaking annoying for these reasons. And I see that. I know that I am being way too critical of her books because they bring a lot of joy to a lot of women. And I think that they are a sexual awakening for a lot of women, which I definitely don't want to put down. I think that that's a good thing. But you will never catch me saying that she's a good writer and that I like her books because they're too toxic for me. But why don't we have your perspective on why you like them that other people can be less angry at? Because I think people are going to come for me for all the things that I said. So why don't you tell us about Colleen and your love for her?
No, I freaking agree with you, okay? And that's really frustrating. Consider me humbled. I'm frustratedly humbled. All right.
No, I want to hear your points. I'm so sorry if that was such a bad friend move.
No, you threw the smarts on me. I mean, but honest to goodness, how long have you been reading, Nikki?
Since 5th grade.
Great. I just freaking started. You didn't start with analytical thinking, oh, Dr. Seuss was stupid for writing that sentence. You know what I mean? Like you looked at it and you were like, this is entertaining. I enjoy this. And then the smarts hit you and you just kept going. You got smarter and smarter. You're going to need to give me a few years to catch up. And I mean that in like the best way possible, that it's like, I really truly did just start reading. I have a year of reading under my belt. I've never enjoyed it. That's what I needed. I needed something enjoyable. I didn't need to go read The Scarlet Letter. I didn't need to go and get a history lesson from a book. I needed to read something that grabbed me immediately, that literally threw me into this world that I never knew was a thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
yes.
But that's what I love about our banter. It's two completely different sides. If you were in 5th grade and we were having this conversation, you and I would be on the same page. We would enjoy the same things, but here you are, 20 years ahead of me. And I'm like, I don't know. The drawings in The Very Hungry Caterpillar were great.
I will say to your point, you're about to hear me say something positive about Colleen Hoover.
Oh no.
She does do a good job of making her books easy to read, digestible, has multiple complex plot points that are followed. It introduces a lot of different types of writing to people all at once. And I would agree with you.
Right.
I truly believe that's why she's so popular.
Right.
Is because these people start with her and they're plunged into the reading world, which is so amazing. But to anybody out there, I say there's a bigger world. You're only being exposed to like California.
Yeah.
Like LA. It's flashy, it's big, it's pretty. I prefer Emily Henry. I prefer Abby Jimenez. I love a chick lit. I want to laugh. That's the other thing. Yeah. Hers are way too sad for me. To me, Colleen doesn't provide that. But I agree with you. At 18, that was when I first read a Colleen Hoover book, and I genuinely thought it was the greatest thing I'd ever read. It flipped my world upside down.
Absolutely.
I'm going to take a step back and say, you know what? I was once there, so I need to back the heck off.
I'll take it. That sounds like 1% of a win for me, and I will take it.
Absolutely. So go ahead and read your points. For those that love Colleen Hoover, that want to read Colleen, here is a lover of her books telling you why you're going to like it.
All right.
Don't listen to me. I'm just a hater.
Yeah, she's just the owner of the pod. Emotional depth. I think that she creates stories with rich emotional landscapes that resonate deeply with all of us. I think that everyone that reads her books can connect with a character at least once. Maybe not for the whole 300 pages, but once. I enjoy getting to know the characters, what they've been through, what they're going through, what they're thinking. They all have issues. They're flawed. But I do agree with you that sometimes they are just way too flawed.
She uses their flaws as an excuse for behavior. You can be a super flawed person, but you should work on yourself because all of her characters are adults. That's where my problem comes. But, you know, I'm going to agree with you that she does a good job of writing flawed people.
Yeah. And it is very toxic, to your point. I think all of her characters are incredibly toxic. The good guys and the bad guys. She isn't afraid to talk about sensitive subjects, and she isn't afraid to bring up the subjects that no one else wants to talk about and no one else wants to write about, which makes me want to touch on It Ends With Us. The point of that book that I loved so, so much and really helped me change my narrative and my thinking was the fact that Colleen Hoover did a really great job at pointing out the fact that it's not Lily's fault. So I think a lot of the time in our society and in our time, we're always saying to someone that we know or that we've heard of that is in an abusive relationship, well, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you just go? Why did you put up with it for so long? And we're really placing that blame on the person that's being abused. But I think Colleen Hoover, honest to goodness, did a beautiful job at switching that narrative and showing, no, this was Ryle's fault. He is at fault for all of this. You know what I mean? So yeah, she was flawed and she was making mistakes and yeah, she put up with it. But I just think at the very end of the story, I think she did a beautiful job at conveying the fact that in an abusive relationship, it is never the abused fault. It's always the abuser's fault, no matter how much the person being abused puts up with. And it's not fair for us as a society to be upset with them or place blame on them for staying. So anyway,
I will say, out of all of Colleen Hoover's books, the one that I would recommend if someone was like, no, I really want to read her, it would be It Ends With Us. Because I agree with all of the points that you made. I really loved Ryle. I like that she makes you like him so much. So in a way, you empathize a bit with Lily. If you were gonna question it, oh, how do you stay? You don't. Because you as a reader really like the guy. And I like that she didn't paint him as just this bad person.
right.
That we as people are more complex than that. So I thought that that part was well done. Now, I did feel like It Starts With Us was a huge money grab just because it got popular on TikTok and I hated It Starts With Us. But if you're gonna go for a Colleen Hoover book, I did not hate It Ends With Us.
I'll take it. There's another percent. Might be terrible writing when you really think about it. And I've read a couple of Kristen Hanna books, and Kristen Hanna books for me are deep dives. Like you're going to be thinking about that book. You're going on a trip. You've got to be paying attention. Whereas with Colleen Hoover, I know that I can read and kind of take my mind off what's going on in my life.
But I will say, I think you don't give yourself enough credit because Kristen Hanna is a more complex writer.
Oh, yeah.
And you love her books too. At first, you were only Colleen, but you evolved pretty quickly.
I think so. You know, I hit a point where I was like, okay, enough childish reading, Colleen. I need something more.
But more substance.
Yeah. Like I want to think about a book, you know?
You want the high to last longer.
Yeah, like I just finished a book by Kristen Hanna and I never want to read again because nothing will ever live up to that.
I know that what I like is very niche. And I'm not saying that my opinion is right. That's the thing. I think my opinion is correct for myself, but I don't really need someone to agree with me to like sleep at night.
Weird. I wonder what that's like.
That's why I have two different rating systems. You know what it is? Here we go. Here's an analogy for you.
I can't wait.
It's like sitting on a bus.
Okay.
And I am in the driver's seat. I'm seeing what's ahead. I'm like dodging the other cars and things, really paying attention because I'm driving.
Right.
But if you're sitting in the back chilling, then you're just going to be like looking out the window, here for a good time. You're just along for the ride. You just want to see the pretty sight. I'm not there to see the pretty sights. I'm there to like get us from point A to point B. But that doesn't make my opinion better. It's just a completely different perspective. So I have my own rating of being in the driver's seat. I want to see how long it took us to get from point A to point B, how fast the road was, how many roadblocks there were. That's what I'm paying attention to. But I can also be like, you know, for someone sitting in the back, they're probably going to really like this. I didn't like it. I hated the journey because I had to take this huge detour because one tiny little road was closed. But if you're in the back seat and you aren't worried about the time that it's taking to get where we need to go, then yeah.
I'm going to love it. You know, your analogies need its own episode. I'm telling you right now, the analogies that you're able to come up with are just outrageous.
Is that a good one? Do you think that's fair?
No, that was excellent.
Thank you. I think that describes it best. I truly don't feel like my opinions are better. There's only one driver and there's how many passengers?
It's the smarts again.
In the very select smarts, because I did just release an episode about how actually stupid I am. So don't be fooled. They're very selective.
Which is great.
The rest of the time, in any other moment in life, I'm in the back seat. I'm having a great time. But when it comes to books, movies, and TV, scoot over, I'm driving.
You know what, though? That is where you belong. You have forged a path for many. You are the founding father of what I consume.
I get so much satisfaction as a human being able to share what I love with my friends. That means so much to me that you liked the show I recommended or the movie or whatever it is. It does give me a bit of a complex. I'm like, I'm the best driver in the world.
You know, which is so crazy because you say that and then you're like, but then you tell me you don't like it and it doesn't even affect me. And I'm like, how in the world do you live like that?
If I accidentally hit a curb, I'm like, oh well. When someone doesn't like something I recommend, I don't take it personally because I'm like, this isn't my bus.
That's just freaking wild. I mean, what? How many years of therapy do I got to go to get me to this point?
And would you say, for the most part, do you like where we go?
Absolutely.
That's all I need. That is all the validation I need.
9.9 times out of 10.
That's such a high compliment.
I'm telling you, this is why I can't recommend stuff to you.
It's because I'm weaving through all these barriers and stuff.
You've been there. You were there 3 years ago, honey.
And honestly, I love taking everyone along for the ride. I'm happy to be in the driver's seat. Everyone hop aboard. I will take you to the views.
Drive away. In you we trust.
You make me laugh so hard. For anybody that listens to this and is like, holy crap, they just argued the whole time. How are they friends? Clearly, you don't have really good friends because my friends, we really love and respect each other, but we are not going to say that each other is right if we disagree.
Yes, we're good. Thanks for your concern. No, and I was actually worried because I was like, I feel like, especially if you don't know me, like I come across as very serious and very blunt. Like, no, I mean it in a joking way. Which brings me to my next point of hills I'll die on.
Yes. What will you die on?
Ready for that?
I'm so ready.
One thing about me is that I will never go hiking and I have tummy issues and no one can change my mind about it.
You say that like some people don't believe you?
I mean, yeah, like someone could tell me, well, we did a CT scan and you're fine. No, I'm not. You must have been looking at someone else's tummy because it wasn't mine, you know?
I get you. I personally don't have tummy troubles, but I will not go on a hike. I hate hiking. I'm totally cool to look at a picture of a view.
Absolutely.
Take me on a gondola up to the top.
Sure.
I don't need the satisfaction of like getting there myself.
And seeing the view. I don't need to see it. I truly don't need to see it. We went to Yellowstone, which was our first mistake. And I was 20 weeks pregnant. And my dad goes, okay, we're going to go on this little hike around a lake. And I thought, no, I don't want to do that. He convinced me. He said, it's all flat. It's all flat. And it's like a mile all the way around. And that's it. And it's so easy. And I was like, you know what? I can do hard things. It was straight uphill. And there were trees that had fallen over in our path. And we had to climb over the trees. I got so anxious that my entire body broke out in hives. And I literally sat on the ground and I said, just call life flight. I'm done. I like played around with the idea of hiking before that. Like I've done a couple hikes in the past. Never again.
Your dad does life flight.
Yeah, exactly. So I said, call your friend, call your pilot, tell him to come pick me up because I'm not doing it. I will roll back down the hill or life flight will come get me. Those are your options. It makes me a little nervous because we talk about hills I'll die on. I'm not hiking up a hill to die on it.
We can drive. There's switchbacks. Your hills, you can drive to.
Thank you. Or flat ground I'll die on. I ain't dying on a hill.
Okay, so this time around for you, I'm going to say that this is the flat ground we'll die on.
Thank you. I appreciate it. The hives are slowly going away now that we've switched it to flat ground and not hills I'll die on because I ain't dying on a hill. I'm not hiking. I'm not going up it. Everyone needs a therapist.
100%.
Every single person needs a therapist. And if you tell me you don't, I'll make the appointment for you because you need it the most. Go work through that, sis. You ain't doing it here. I will never be okay with how he acted over toilet paper. Period. End of story. That to me was unacceptable. And if we ever, as a society, act like that again, I'm calling an audible. We're done. That was not okay. What's another one? Bell peppers are way too expensive.
These are the best ones I've ever heard.
I go to buy a bell pepper and it's $2 for the green one and $3 for the orange one. Am I getting a garden of them? No, I'm getting one. That's also not okay. Another one, leftovers should be illegal.
I agree.
Why are we doing that? Just put it in the trash.
Straight to the trash.
Yeah. You and the container for thinking that you could put it in my fridge. Because the second you leave my home, it's going in the trash with the container because I don't want to do dishes, you know? And people are like, oh, well, pizza is so good in the morning. No, it's not. It's so good cold. Who are you trying to convince? Because they talk about it so much that I'm like, you're just trying to convince yourself, aren't you? You aren't sure about it. So you're going to keep talking about it until you're sure about it. Because I'm sure it's not good. And I feel confident in that. I feel good where I'm at with that, you know?
That is so funny you bring that up because I literally had that as one of my points. I hate cold pizza.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No. Yeah. And I'm sorry, Jeffrey Dahmer ate pork chops and spaghetti in the morning. So is that where we're headed? What's happening?
Correlation? I think so.
Yeah, I think I'll have my bowl of Lucky Charms. Thank you. Horoscopes and signs, I'm not doing it.
Ooh, that's a strong one. I don't have enough of an opinion on this.
I don't even think I know enough about it to have an opinion, but here I am. Okay, I was born in June, so I am dramatic. I know that. I don't think that's because I was born in June, Stacy. I don't think that's because I am a Capricorn. What? The stars aligned properly? I don't think so.
And you'll die on that?
Yeah, I don't want to know anything else about me if that's all it comes down to.
I respect it. I don't know even what my own sign is, so I will not be telling you anything about yours.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But even if the most knowledgeable person comes and tries to tell me my sign, back up. Read the room. Know your place. It's not here. Go down to the carnival on 34th Street and charge $30 to do that. Okay, here's my last one.
And with that, what's your last flat ground that you'll die on?
This is really going to ruffle some feathers. Close to home. It's too soon. It's too early. Taylor Swift is not it. Before last night at 9 p.m., I thought, you know what? I'm not a Swiftie, but I'm also not like a hater. You know what I mean? If she were to go on tour and perform her first 3 albums, Teardrops on My Guitar, Tim McGraw, I would be there front and center. I would sell my left pinky toe to be there. I don't know what happened, what hit her on the side of the head. She's not it. The last 398 songs that she released over the last 24 hours just solidified that. It's got to be some of the worst music I've ever heard.
Tortured Poets Department that released last night. This is what you're referring to.
Yes. She can put on a show. Do I feel FOMO for not going to her Eras concert? Yeah. But whatever it was that she released needs to be unreleased.
I'm not a diehard Swiftie. I would say just blanket statement. I'm a Swiftie fan.
Yeah.
I know a ton of her music. I really like her, but
don't ever add any of her songs to my playlist.
Absolutely fair. You want to know what song you all should be listening to this week, though?
Dead Man Walking.
It is absolutely my listen of the week. It's Dead Man Walkin' with a little apostrophe by the songhouse Rebecca Brunner. Brunner. That song is such a banger. I create playlists for Kiera. I have for years now. It is one of my favorite things to do. I listen to a lot of new music, and then when I find something that is worthy of her, I add it to the playlist because she deserves only the best.
I have 8 that you've created.
maybe we'll put together the best of the best that I have ever sent Kiera because I
Yes.
only send gold songs to her. I think we could
Love
create
it.
a really fun playlist for everyone to listen to.
Yes.
That's what we'll do.
I love that idea. The stuff you give me is solid gold.
For every one song I give you, there was at least 6 that I didn't.
It's insanity the work you put in for me. And I just appreciate you so much.
That's what you get when you're my friend.
All it is benefits being friends with you.
Except for the fact that I hate Colleen Hoover.
Except for the fact when I share something with you and you give it a thumbs up. All right,
Yes.
I'll give you that one.
I absolutely adore you.
I adore you. Thank you for letting me come on your podcast and just rant and rave about everything and anything.
I am just your endless cheerleader. I mean, I'll tell you when you're running stupid, but I'll cheerlead you the whole way.
I won't run stupid with you, but I'll watch you, cheering you on
I will.
at the finish line. Unbelievable.
The fact that-
Yay. Thank you. Thank you for letting me come on. It was so much fun.
Do you want to sign us out?
Thanks for listening to our thoughts on life, because this has been Life According to Nikki.
Absolutely perfect.
I should be a newscaster. That's all I know.
But just don't leave a negative review.
Don't ever say anything negative about me. I will quit so fast and you will not find a replacement. I will trash the business, light the building on fire. One negative review.